What's poppin', everybody? This is Ray Rawlins from the Ray Rawlins Network. Soon to be undergoing changes, but we're still doing this whole 31 days of Halloween cartoons marathon. And of course, I'm joined by Mr. Alex Payne. Today we're continuing with, I want to say, the final episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, but I think we're going to do an extra one because why the hell not? It's a good show. You know, we're not doing an extra Simpsons though because they
Actually,
shit.
we got this ain't the final one. We still got one more to do after this. You forget it, and then
That's what happens. That's what happens when you're recording shit in bulk. But today we're talking about some Courage the Cowardly Dog. And this episode is, I believe it's season 2, episode 13, The Tower of Dr. Zalost, or Zalost, however the hell they pronounce it.
I think it's Zalost. Or Zalost.
Zalost.
Yeah.
Zalost.
Yeah, Zalost, that's what it is.
So, as always, Alex Payne, give us that good old episode, Bust it down for us.
You know, it's funny because I've been trying to rack my brain for the longest time on how to describe this episode because I feel like it's very strange. Like, it's very weird.
It's simple, honestly.
It's simple, but it isn't. Because, like, you know, you could simply say a very depressed doctor comes to nowhere and says, you know, give me a whole bunch of money or I'll make the whole town depressed. And, you know, the money doesn't make him happy, so he does it. And one of the people he makes depressed is Muriel. So obviously, Courage has to come save the day.
Right. And your motherfucking breakdowns are fucking to the point. But
that's
listen,
what I'm saying. Like,
all I gotta say,
difficult.
what did she call those? The happy plums or whatever?
Yeah.
How Courage ended up happy plums, which, I mean, plums are red. If I'm correct, yeah, plums are, at least the plums that I've seen. I know there's some that's probably like different colors, I'm sure. But I remember I used to eat plums. I used to eat plums as a kid, and I never seen plums of that color. I honestly never have. Maybe I wasn't paying attention or what. I don't eat too much fruit to really know, so I'm not that experimental on no fruit shit. But I do gotta say, when
it comes to fruit,
I know one thing though. This doctor seems like a fucking asshole. I'll tell you that. Come here, rat. Give me a hug. Hug me like you mean it.
Come here, rat. And then he kicks Baby Rat off his leg.
Yeah, that's messed up, man. Like, he deserves to be unhappy. He really does.
But that's the thing, though, because if it isn't obvious to anyone watching, like, this whole episode is pretty much just like a metaphor and discussion.
Shout out to the one person watching.
Yeah, on depression and shit. So when you're depressed, you're kind of an asshole to people. You want them to love you, but when they come around you, it's just like, get the fuck from around me. I don't want you here.
Right. And that's messed up, man. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be that way, but you know what? Like, of course, the whole mood that you have is gonna come out and project its way onto others as well.
Yeah, and you know, he thought the money would make him happy, and it didn't.
Listen, I don't know how $33.5 million will not make anyone happy. I know. Listen,
no,
money is
$1 billion. It's a
billion with a shit. Well, that motherfucker fucked up in the head. I don't know what to tell you. He extra fucked up. But I suppose, like I said, this doctor does seem like an asshole. Obviously. All I gotta say is, everybody needs some happy plums, man. If they worked magic like that, like they did in this episode, motherfucking, we need a recipe to that shit on God. Like, straight up.
And that's the thing, you know, to go to, because like, a lot of depressed people, especially like, you know, evil people or whatever, they just want everyone to feel and understand how they feel. So that's pretty much what he was doing in this episode, trying to make people understand how he felt.
Right. You know what's weird? That I noticed, like, whenever he fires off that cannon, he hits him with one of those little balls, they end up changing colors.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's obviously to reflect the mood and whatnot.
Yeah, the grade.
But it's just like, man. I mean, if you want it to be more realistic, you know, obviously don't do that. Let's have them looking the same, but cartoon obviously going to have some type of visual effects to display, like, oh yeah, this person is unhappy or whatever. And he kind of got me like Fred. He was kind of like Fred, remind me of Fred. Oh, naughty, unhappy. I forgot exactly what he was saying at the beginning, but it was like, man, this motherfucker, what is this? Like, is he the new unhappy Fred? Like, what the fuck going on here? But I suppose we can get on the moments and whatnot. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say, it's weird because I was watching a video on the show the other day, and they said something very interesting. It's like, when you really think about it, the whole point, and artistry of Courage the Cowardly Dog is the subversion of and like very weird.
The what? You say that again. The what?
The subversion of expectation. Cause perfect example, the Everybody Directs episode. You would expect it to go way different than the guy, reads the script. You would think he'll tear it up and throw it down, and then some other show it down. But they just read the script and followed along, climbed into the hole, and let Courage bury him.
Yeah, you're right.
And and the Demon Mattress episode, Courage staring the Demon Muriel down. They staring at each other, knuckles and everything, and then they just start going from war battle. It's like, so what I'm saying is the realism is not really the core.
No, yeah, obviously. That goes with any cartoon though too.
You should see but like Courage goes the extra mile to be, because like they're very strong in their cartoon logic. Like for example, right? Like in one of the episodes, I think it's Dr. LaQuack Amnesia Specialist, I think it's called. But anyway, so the guy is chasing Courage down with the mallet, trying to fuck him up with it, and Courage pretends to be the doormat. So like Courage changes shapes and stuff all the time. So like
right.
What I'm saying is, because some cartoons, I would say even like some cartoons, I guess, try to be realistic in their cartooniness.
This one doesn't.
No.
Right.
But the moments though. Well, we didn't do first impressions, so I'm gonna say that's just my first impression.
No, we pretty much did. We pretty much did.
Well, I'm just gonna slip this in. Always gotta do it. Always gotta do it. Music, phenomenal. Always gotta do it. Music is great. But the moments, there was two moments that really made me laugh. The moment when Courage and Dr. Zalost is doing like the hangman game, and they arguing about how much it costs.
Right.
It's like, do you need your change? And it's like, oh, this is so embarrassing. But that, and this is a really weird moment because you wouldn't expect it to be well, not really, but at the very end when everybody's like becoming happy again, you just see the duck get hit with the happy thing, come back, and then he almost immediately gets run over.
I'll tell you this. One of the moments that really messed my head up is when the little rat dude, he got morphed into this big. Yeah, I'm like, whoa, what happened to you, man? He just got gigundo out of nowhere.
Actually, and what's funny? That's a perfect example. He got really huge, right? Courage shoot him with the happy plum. You think, okay, he's probably just gonna be happy now. Then he just turns into a baby for no reason.
Right. It just don't make no sense. Doesn't make no sense. I gotta say this though, and this is what really I wanted to talk about, and I didn't in the beginning. I really hate the fact that they took away Courage's ability to talk. Like, I hate that. And it really showed this episode. Like, you see him messing around with the happy plums and whatnot, eating them at the table. And it's just like, he's not saying anything. And that laugh, I don't like that laugh at all.
I love that laugh.
I don't like it. I hate it. It just sounds so weird. And it doesn't, like, match his normal voice. It's just like...
I just love the people. That's the guilty. That's the, I fucked up laugh. Like, I just got fucked up by, getting hit with something or whatever. Or the, I just did something bad laugh. I love that laugh. That's hilarious.
I don't know. I don't like it. Like, the people at Cartoon Network really fucked up, at least in my opinion, by taking away his ability to talk.
No, trust me, I definitely agree on that. They shouldn't have took... But I feel like it's something when you first notice it is kind of jarring, but you get used to it really quickly because he didn't really talk that much in the beginning anyway. And he was definitely
No, you're right.
So he probably went from like less 7 lines an episode to, depending on the episode, 3, none.
Right. Let's get into final reviews, though. I gotta say, this episode, and like you said, it's not Halloweeny, so it doesn't, I guess, fit into the criteria or the whole motive. Like, oh yeah, the 31 Days of Cartoons, but screw it. This is a Halloween cartoon in itself, so we just toss it in here. But I gotta say, though, for it being a half an hour episode, it felt pretty quick. It felt pretty quick, honestly, which I mean that in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
It was a decent episode. It wasn't terrible. Very basic plot, but it felt a little bit advanced because it's like, oh yeah, you got this sad dude. He wants to make everybody sad too. Da da da. Woo, woo, woo. I see where you're trying to go with that. Very basic in my opinion, but they did it well. I do gotta say though, this doesn't hold up to The Mask. As soon as you told me it was gonna be a half an hour, I was like, oh man, it's gonna be another dope episode. Doesn't hold up to it one bit. I forgot what I think I gave that episode like a 9 or something like that. 8.5 to a 9. I really enjoyed that episode. But this, obviously I'm not comparing the two, but it was episode was very ordinary, if that makes sense. It didn't feel like anything like super, super special. Like you said, the music was good.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Well, the music is good in every Courage episode. So
you're right.
Basis for anything.
and with this being the first episode, really, really seeing Courage not talk, it really disappointed me. I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm gonna give this episode a solid 7. I'll say 6.5. 6.5. I wasn't that impressed. And like I said, that whole, I don't know, it's just the Courage not talking really fucked me up. I don't like it. I don't like it. And that's the big thing that really just like, oh man, fucked it up for me. Because I feel like if he talked, it maybe would have added a little bit more. Maybe I'll get a 7, maybe 7.5. But just that one thing really stuck out to me. I'm not a big fan of it at all. It really disappointed me. So it's just like, man, oof.
When you first notice it, it is really like, because like I said, like when I really noticed it, it was like, oh. But like watching it again and everything, I got you. It's surprising how quick you get used. Even with like Eustace's voice, I mean,
I didn't like
experience that too much. But like when I watched it, like I would say a year ago or something, like Eustace's new voice just was so like I just couldn't. It's not even that I didn't like it. It's just.
I never noticed it. Yeah, you tell it's different. And let me say this.
And it just feels so jarring. Because the original Eustace is so good. The original Eustace is so good and all his grumpy sounds and all that other shit. So
right.
They have someone else. Now, granted, they kept a lot of the original sounds and just used the new guy for dialogue that they didn't already have.
Right.
But, and plus, that isn't until like the middle of the 3rd season. So it's not even something you notice until you're deep in there. But
let me just say this. I will say this, though. When Courage obviously didn't say much in The Mask, but what really made it stand out to me is that you have this dog making all these sounds, in which, of course, dogs aren't supposed to talk. But like you said, they're huge on not having, they're huge on their cartoon logic, you know. Yeah. So I just expect this dude to be talking. Like, I'm used to hearing his voice, but he didn't talk that much in The Mask. He didn't make that many sounds in The Mask, at least to me. It just stuck out more to me because he was making all these sounds, especially like when he was messing with the plums and whatnot. It's just like, man, why isn't this motherfucker talking?
The plum ones, I don't agree with just because, like, what would he really say? I mean, you could see him trying to figure out. Now, the moment I thought you would have mentioned in conjunction with that is the hangman incident when they're arguing about the money because he just pretty much blabbles at him.
Right. But I expect them to be like, these plums are good, you know, just basic shit. I know it didn't have to be that moment, but, you know, like I said, that's the main thing that stood out to me. So I'm just going to give this a solid 6.5. What about you?
Like you see, it's weird because, like, a lot of people really love, like, I saw a few people put this as their number 1 favorite episode of Courage.
Wow, really?
Now,
it's just, see, the whole thing with that is crazy to me because, like I said, I feel like The Mask really stood out. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that rating's a little bit too low. No, I know I'm right about that.
Definitely right on that one.
But the rating with this, I think maybe is a bit too low on my part. maybe it's not a 6.5. I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7. Like I said, I'm not too impressed with it. I'm really not. Nothing felt special about this episode to me. It didn't really stand out in any way. The plot was very basic. Like I said, nothing felt like super special. Only thing special about it was a 30-minute episode instead of 15.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that though. Like, it really isn't a super special episode. But I feel like the music is definitely some of the best in the whole series. But like, I like how they dealt with the whole depression shit. Because, like, I think they did a really good job of expressing, like, how people act with, all that other shit, trying to make people feel how they feel, how money don't make you happy, this, that, right. Whatever, all this other shit, and so on and so forth. And, trying to get the hug from Rad is hilarious, though. That is funny. And Rad just saying about that shit is,
Right.
But, no, but I think I'll give it, because I don't necessarily agree with them that this is one of the better episodes. I would say this is a decent episode.
No, it definitely is, yeah.
I would say this is a little bit about decent, so I'm going to give it I want to give it a 7.5, I think. That's
all fair. Right. 7.5, and shout out to your little courages in the background. 7.5, I give it a nice solid 7. That's pretty much it for this review, man. Pretty decent episode, nothing too spectacular. But y'all know what it is, man. You can't win with every single one, but I tell you this still ain't as low as our Simpson ratings. So, with all that being said, my name is Ray Rawlins. His is Alex Payne. This is the Ray Rawlins Network, soon to be going through some changes. But the fact that we talk cartoons and we damn near do it daily will still stay the same. We will see you as this marathon continues. Peace.